As we look today and we read in the newspapers, we read the business journals, we see a lot of discussion about business models. And we are in what we would call a perfect storm of what's hitting companies today. It's new ideas for how to do business. It's new ways to adapt new technologies. And what that means for all of us is, how do we understand ourselves better so we can stay in business and grow? And how do we understand our clients better so that we have a better feel for how to interact and how to help them to grow their businesses? That's our quest. And like I said, this applies, it doesn't matter if you're a big company, small, mid-sized, it applies to you, and it doesn't matter if you're, what sector you're in, what business sector or professional sectors. These are all companies that I've spoken to or for that have invited me to come in and to talk about this topic for their particular type of company. So how do we fix it? There's a lot of things we get to hear about, a lot of things we get to learn about, we get to read. I think success lies in the simplicity. How do we take all of what's occurring and simplify it down so this can make sense and be usable to us as business executives or as owners of our company, and use this so it actually is helpful to us? Okay. How do we do that? So I'm asking the question, I've been asking the question here for many years, what separates it? I'm going to ask you to help me with this. Okay, you've seen companies that have been successful. You've seen companies that have failed. Can you give me, just anybody, just throw out a reason you've seen for success or for failure?
Lack of adapting to change.
Pardon?
Lack of adapting to change.
Lack of adapting to change. Willing to change. A business plan. Either you got a good one or you don't have a business plan. Okay, great answers. What else? Somebody's micromanaging me and maybe too narrowly rather than kind of stepping back and looking at what should we be doing. Great answers. What else?
Vision.
A vision. I either have a vision and I'm doing very well, or I don't. Okay? I have a leadership team that has a vision, or it doesn't, or it has the wrong vision. Great answers. What else?
Not paying attention to the market conditions.
Not watching the marketplace. What's happening all around me in terms of maybe that could be customer changes, could be the economy, could be regulatory changes, all these things could be government, as we heard from the previous speaker. What's the government doing to us in certain areas that we have to either adapt to, or we wake up tomorrow and say, what the heck just happened? Great answers. What else? Success or failure? Reactive instead of proactive. Okay? And so if I'm here, the business model myth, and I think I can just keep doing what I've been doing, I end up just kind of reacting rather than saying, I'm going to take it on. Let's take it on. Let's have some fun. Let's take it on. Let's have our team help us to take it on. What else?
Succession planning.
Succession planning. Okay, either we have good leadership transition and ownership transition, or we don't, because we have the right succession plan in place, or we don't. Maybe as an owner, we have engaged our key advisors to help us with that, or we haven't. Okay.
Client service style changed. The boomers versus the millennials, the Gen X, and Gen Y.
Okay, between the types of clients, the boomers, the millennials, the Gen Xers, different needs, different desires, different wants, different pains, different things they're looking to gain, different results that they need, and we have to stay in tune with them, don't we, or else we're going to miss the boat. Great answers. What else?
Willingness to take a calculated risk.
Okay, willingness to take a calculated risk. You know what that becomes a part of? That's part of what I call your culture. And you either have a culture that says we're going to be courageous or we're going to be fearful. And fear kills a lot of businesses. And it's part of the solution, is to have that courage that's kind of built into our culture, and a willingness to say, let's look at that, without a fear that I'm going to be criticized within my own organization. Great answers. Yes, ma'am. The planning for contingencies or the failure to plan for contingencies. Great answers. Am I looking ahead? Because one thing I know, things are changing. We all know that. And so we have to have plan A, plan B, how we're going to deal with it no matter what happens. Okay, these are all great answers. This is major business model change. I don't want to say that every time we think about business model we have to change the world. Because we may say, we just got to focus on a few things here and there with our business model. But this is an example of where the business model made a big difference, because he said, what business am I really in? Why does it still work if it does? And here it didn't work anymore. The pricing wasn't working. The cost structure wasn't working anymore. That's the key to understanding business models, is to think in terms of the building blocks that make up my company, my organization. How do I best create, deliver, and capture value? And it's important to realize that technology is not a business model. Just like Xerox, great new technology, but without the right business model wrapped around it, it would have gone nowhere. Now, a few years back, came in contact with a man by the name of Dr. Alexander Osterwald. And he studied this topic. He said, we aren't learning about this in schools, but how do we think about business models? How do we start to understand them? And he came to a conclusion through his research that every company can be described based on 9 building blocks. Every company, no matter how big, small, new or old, 9 building blocks. If you just Google business model canvas, put in the name of a company, you'll see a lot of illustrations on the internet as to how different companies have actually 9-blocked their business using the business model canvas. We have 3 jobs as leaders in our company. That is to preserve what we've got, to eliminate certain things, and then to look at how we might create other aspects to our business model. Those are the three key questions to how you stay in command of your business model. Paula, thank you very much for having me here. It's been a pleasure to be here with the group and to share some ideas. Thank you for being a great audience and for participating with me.